Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are here for a track guide at Road America Full Course, this time in the Super Formula Light, and what a wonderful combination this was and is. If you are new to my channel, what we do is a hot lap, breakdown lap, and we're back in the cockpit one final time with the driving line on. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Let's start the lap. Okay, let's start the hot lap. Smashing it down the main straight. Looking for the one marker. A little dab on the brakes, down to fifth, down to fourth, back on the gas, nice and early, exit wide. Looking for the one marker again. I'm going to go all the way down to third this time. Bang, bang. Again, just using that full exit. As we come into 5 here, this sharp left-hander, we're going to start braking at the end of the sand. We're going to get right over the right-hand side of the curves. I'm going to come all the way down to second gear. A bit slippy on exit. Nothing we can't handle. Again, turn 6 here, a little bit slippy, little dab on the brakes, down to third gear, back on the gas. And again, just had to correct a little bit of oversteer. We're flat out through turn 7. Looking for just after the 2 marker here as we come through 8, and we're going to go flat now all the way to Canada corner, turn 14. So we're going to turn inside the corner and just let it oversteer its way out to the outside, but that allows us to be absolutely flat through there. So this is, I think I mentioned, did I mention this is using the default setup? Can't remember if I did. So the Road America setup and just default brake bias, and this was my last lap in a stint, so this is light on fuel. All the way down to third here through turn 12. Absolutely flat again. Now we're looking for the 2 marker. We go through that, brake up to about 40%, drop it down to 4th, get on the power nice and early. You go up the hill, and now you can see the fuel alerts come on. I wouldn't have managed to make it through another lap. And over and across the line in a 155.159. Right, let's do the breakdown. Right, breakdown. So I have seen people use 5th gear through this first turn. I prefer 4th personally. So it's this one cone here on the left-hand side. So as we get there, we're braking only up to about 30%. I drop it down to 5th. I then trail off, I drop it down to 4th. I'm hooking my tyres almost so they're actually over the dirt patch on the right there. And I'm back up to 100% at apex. Now, that gives me all the torque that I need. I then get straight back up to 5th on exit. Similar thing here. As we come to the 1 marker on the left-hand side, we're going to brake this time up to about 60%. And again, drop it down to 4th. Immediate trail off. I drop it down to 3rd. And again, I'm wanting to get back on 100% power nice and early on because I'm now going to be on this long straight all the way down to turn 5. So you don't want to touch this grass coming up just ahead here. If you touch the grass at all, it will be an off track. Very frustrating. Right, our next braking marker is going to be just after the 2, just before the 1. And as you can see, what I'm wanting to do is aim my car so I miss the sand. Oh, actually, yeah, no, it is the 2 marker. Wow, I actually thought I'd brake later than that. So as I get to the 2 marker, I get on the brakes. I'm missing the sand, but I'm aiming my car to the outside of this curbing. I'm braking up to about 80%, wiping that speed off in a straight line, down to 4th, down to 3rd, start trailing it off as I look to move in towards the apex, drop it down to 2nd, and then as I get to the apex here, I start building back up on the gas. I make it up to 100%, and then I do have to do a little bit of a correction on exit. So as we get into this Corvette signage up ahead on this little access road that's coming over the top, what's it called? A bridge. A bridge, there we go. I'm going to brake up to about 50%, drop it down to 3rd. And again, same thing. I trail it off. I start building up nice and early. And again, I get to 100% on exit. Car was a little bit loose, but that's fine. That's why we drive them. Right. 2 marker on the right-hand side here is going to be our sign to actually start braking here for turn 8. We brake up to about 75%, drop it down to 4th, drop it down to 3rd, trail it off all the way down to the apex, and then build back up. Again, it's not too slippy, this exit. We are flat all the way through here, and I'll explain what I mean. So you want to be close on the inside, and you want to be feeling like, as we come up to it here, that you're turning off to the right, as if you're going to be trying to turn into the grass. Now, the thing is, with the speed that you're doing, the fact that you're absolutely flat out in 5th gear, you're not going to actually turn right. The car's just going to understeer its way outside. So if you look, I've got almost 90 degrees of full right-hand lock on, and I'm barely turning enough to stay on the track on exit. But that's what you should be feeling. This bit's absolutely easy. Turn 11. Just trying to get our right-hand tyres over the rumble strip. We straighten out here, try and turn this into a straight, even though it's a kinky area. And just before the 2 marker is when we're going to start turning for Canada corner. We're braking up to about 70%. Again, wipe all that speed off whilst we can in a straight line. Drop it down to 4th, drop it down to 3rd. We're still trailing off all the way down to the apex. As we hit the apex, we're basically trying to get back on the gas as soon as possible. Exit nice and wide using the full track. Flat out through here. Again, just touching this rumble strip on the left. Back over to the left-hand side. We go through this 2 marker, and as we get there, we're going to brake up to about 40%, 45%, so not too hard. And we're just going to trail that off, and we're going to go flat out in 4th gear once we hit the apex of 14. Feels like it bogs down a little bit. And there we have it, over and across the line, whatever I said it was a minute ago. 155, 159. We have one final version coming up now with the driving line on without me talking. Enjoy.